Through majestic forests, alpine valleys and crystal clear lakes, following the trails of wild animals, in search of rare birds, in places where no man had set a foot before. Precious, magnificent nature, in all its diversity and grandeur, in the documentary series, Kazakhstan's Wildlife Sanctuaries. We continue our journey in the south of Kazakhstan. This time we are headed to the mysterious and poorly studied region of the Western Tian Shan. Bizarre landscapes of the Karatau Ridge are very impressive. Original petroglyphs were found on black rocks, and researchers continue finding remains of dinosaurs, prehistoric reptiles or arrowheads, evidence of the past. Every cave has its own legend. Labyrinths of narrow passages and endless tunnels attract curious travelers. We have decided to tell the story of the Karatau Reserve, about its unique plants and animals. The reserve was established in 2004. It is located in the central part of the Karatau Ridge. The area of the reserve is 34,300 hectares, excluding buffer zones. Those are areas adjacent to the reserve within which all actions that can harm the natural regime and interfere with the ecosystem are prohibited. An example is felling trees. Creation of the reserve played a huge role in keeping the Karatau argali. Karatau argali is the wild ancestor of the fat-tailed sheep. The first scientific description of argali was given in 1873 by Nikolai Severtsev, a famous explorer of the Tian Shan. Back then, thousands of argali grazed on the slopes of Sырdarya Karatau Mountains. In the 21st century, the International Union for Conservation of Nature, IUCN, included Karatau argali into the Red List, which means the highest category of endangered species.
When
Karatau Reserve was being established, there were only 38 heads. Today, their number exceeds 300. I believe that this is the result of work of our inspectors. Most importantly, the reserve was created at the right time. Karatau argali became a symbol of the reserve and decorates its logo. Every spring and autumn, inspectors conduct registration of animals. That day, we got up at 5 a.m. to go searching for argali. Mountains were covered with thick fog. Our guide, Shura Janatayev, is familiar with every path in these places. Kazan Bulak and Koshkartaz gorges are native habitat of argali. There are many plants that mountain sheep feed on and many springs with crystal clear water. The staff of the reserve makes sure that animals are able to survive the harsh winter conditions. We are ready for the autumn counting. We conducted biotechnical measures. What are those? We prepared salt and food for argali. We leave bowls with salt and food in places where argali pass. The main objective of the Karatau Reserve is animal protection and development of tourism.
Ең басты мәселесі ол Қаратау қорығын қорғау, ғылыми қызметті дамыту және экотуризмді дамыту.
Highest mountains are located in the northern part of Karatau. Besas Peak reaches 2,176 meters above sea level. Kilin Shektau Gorge is next to it. From a distance, one of the rocks actually resembles a woman in the Kazakh headdress, Kemishek. There is a legend among people about her. One Han had a willful, spoiled daughter. When she was getting married, she was given a rich dowry and youth with gold decoration. But it wasn't enough for the daughter. She demanded a golden ball for her dog. Han refused, but the daughter insisted. And Han told her, "If you don't listen to your father's will, choose your destiny yourself." And in an instant, the girl with all her dowry turned into stone. Maybe this is why the mountains of Karatau are enriched with minerals. Karatau landscapes are very picturesque and unlike of other mountain systems of Kazakhstan. It is the oldest mountain range, which was formed at the bottom of an ancient sea Tekis. You could even say an ancient ocean. Therefore, Karatau landscapes are truly fantastic. Gorgeous canyons, caves attract hundreds of tourists and travelers. On our way, we meet more and more water obstacles. We leave horses and continue our journey on foot. Springs of Karatau are amazing. The water is clear, ice cold. When the weather is clear, it seems as if silver lights shine through the natural baths. Marinka fish inhabit these waters. There are about 13 never-drying up springs around the territory of the reserve in total. Members of the Institute of Ecology conducted chemical analysis of the water. It turned out that the purest water was found in Kazan Bulat spring. This has resulted in spring becoming Kazakhstan's geological and geomorphological object. The fog thickens and we're still searching for Argali. Argali have very good hearing and vision. They can see very well even in the fog. Most likely, they know where we are. Along the trails of the Bestogay Canyon, the Western Tian Shan Karatau regal pear grows. In the 80s, this species was listed as endangered. Not only was it preserved on lands of the Karatau Reserve, it spread widely on the territory. Fruits and seeds of regal pear are solid. Seems like a hammer can break it, but somehow partridges manage feed on these pear seeds. The fruits are eaten by wild boars and argali. It was noted that the summer migration of argali lies along areas where these regal pears grow. This interesting plant has healing properties. Diverse nature of Karatau holds many endemic flora species. One of the most beneficial plants for argali is Karatau onion. This plant intensively blooms throughout the summer. During springtime, 4 types of tulips become true decoration for mountain peaks: Greek tulip, Alberta, Tado tulip and Kolpakovsky tulip. Widespread species of the lily tulip is Greek tulip. During the summer, right next to the tulips, other yellow flowers delight the sight of a passerby. This is Juno iris. It is named after the Roman goddess, patroness of married women. This perennial bulbous plant grows out during the second half of April and blooms only for 2-3 weeks. It should be noted that the flora of Sirdarya Karatau occupies a leading place in the world in the number of endemic and rare species of plants. To date, 1,203 species were identified. They include about 200 types of mushrooms, more than 200 species of algae, 75 types of moss, 5 species of ferns and more than 675 vascular plants. The employees of the reserve make their contribution to the reproduction of the mountain forests. This summer, thuja were planted at the foot of Han Tegi. These conifers fit well into the landscape of the Karatau Ridge. This year, winter came early into the northern spurs of Karatau. However, there is not that much snow. This means that the best time to watch the animals and do some counting had come. Argali prefer open spaces, steep slopes of mountains and foothills, rocky gorges overgrown with shrubs, valleys with rocky hills and alpine meadows. Employees of the reserve had studied the migrating patterns of these mountain sheep.
Этот экологический коридор охватывает Каратауский заповедник, Сырдарья, Туркестанский.
This ecological corridor covers Karatau, the Sirdarya-Turkestan reserves, reaches Sayram-Ugam and Aksuja-Bagli Nature Reserve. If this legislature goes through, it will become a great help to nature, to the cause of protection of biodiversity of the Karatau Ridge.
Поголовья Архара, а также для сохранения биоразнообразия хребта Харатау.
Up to 40s of the previous century, species like Tian Shan brown bear, snow leopard inhabited these areas. Barely seen these days, Cossack foxes, steppe polecats, wild boars were common for the region back then. Today, the mammal fauna of the reserve and surrounding territories is represented by 42 species. The list includes desert species, yellow ground squirrel, jerboa, desert hare, long-eared hedgehog, black-tailed gazelle. There are also weasels, badgers, wolves, Tian Shan argali, porcupine, stone martens. For tourists, employees of the Karatau National Nature Reserve led a special 320 meters long route to the Hantegi Cliff. The mountain, which is 800 meters above sea level, is topped with Han's late stone throne. There is also an interesting legend considering this place.
Во время 17 века нашествия джунгарских
In times of Jungar invasion in the 17th century, Abil Mansur Khan with his spouse set over there. It was not just the throne, this was the observation outpost. The whole panorama of the Karatau Reserve can be seen from this place.
Можно увидеть всю палитру Каратауского заповедника.
This is why the peak was named Hantegi. People believe that this is a sacred place. According to the legend, those who wanted to change their lives for the better would come here. If you make a wish while sitting on the throne, it will come true. Hantegi is one of the most popular destinations of the southern slope of the Karatau. Kempurtas Rock is also located here. This natural sculpture resembles a woman image. There are many unique natural places in the reserve. When it comes to ecotourism, we have a mountain Kungay, Hantegi, Kempurtas, Tereskey peaks. Even if our mountains are not as high, 2,600 meters above sea level on average, but the nature is spectacular. The reserve is open for visitors at any time of the year. Northern slopes of Kelinshek-Tau are covered with petroglyphs. That's why tourists come here frequently.
Петроглифтер қалған, соларды көруге туристер бізге жылма-жыл келіп тұрады.
In the summer, the number of tourists is particularly large. Cozy decorative arbors and numerous eco-cabins of trees planted on the circle were built along the rivers for recreational purposes. They remind tropical bungalows. A flow through a lake is situated nearby. It is the most popular tourist spot on a hot day. One may plunge into the clean, cool water and relax. Numerous caves are hidden within the spectacular beauty of the rocks of Baildir Gorge. One of them is called Balagai. There are several mystical stories connected with this cave. Local legend tells that some beast inhabits this cave. This summer, we have ventured to explore the mysterious place to check the reality of this story. Going inside, we felt the presence of something unknown and strange, as if someone was watching us and studied uninvited guests. For a split second, it seemed that truly some beast is hiding in the dark. But most likely, it was just a figment of our imagination. For those who love to travel, it's highly recommended to visit Karatau. These ancient mountains keep innermost legends of the Kazakh people. According to the legend, a kobys of Korkut is hidden in these mountains. It was the first magical kobys capable of performing miracles. Hasan Kaygi and Alpamis Batur, Kazakh epic heroes, passed through these black iron mountains. This is how wonderful nature of the mountains was. This is where one starts to believe in fairy tales and myths. It's time to move on for us. We continue our journey through reserved places of Kazakhstan.